Hello and welcome to my channel. I just returned from about a 3-week trip to Thailand and Vietnam, so I'm going to start off with some honest thoughts about Thailand. So Thailand was the first country I ever visited in Asia. I did go there for work, so I had a little bit of a different experience than someone who maybe went there for personal travel. So first impressions of Thailand, I went to Bangkok. I pretty much only went out to a couple places on the weekend, out to a national park and to Pattaya. So I didn't get out as much as I would have liked. I would have liked to have gone north. Bangkok was very interesting. So everyone was still wearing masks because there's still a lot of problems, and people just generally wear masks in Asia in general because of pollution and just different illnesses going around. The pollution in Bangkok was really bad. I had packed running shoes and stuff to go running because I'm still training for my triathlon that's coming up in a few weeks. And I couldn't even run outside because it was so bad. You pretty much had to wear a mask outside to kind of cut down or to be able to breathe better because it was so bad. You know, you wear like a surgical mask and stuff. Bangkok was super crowded and chaotic. Of course, it is a large city, and just the scooters and everything. I'd never seen that before. All these people on scooters, and traffic was just insane. I never saw any accidents while I was there, which was a miracle. I noticed there was a lot of street dogs, of course, which, you know, is pretty common overseas. Streets were pretty dirty. The crosswalks are just not a thing. I mean, they have them, it's just nobody adheres to them. My coworker and I went out to dinner and went out a few times to go explore, and there were just prostitutes everywhere. I mean, I expected that because it was Bangkok, but I didn't expect to see to that level. And then 80% of the couples we saw were, you know, 60-something, 70-something-year-old men with young Thai girls. I mean, of age, but, you know, like 20 years old, early 20s, and they're all, you know, British and Australian, probably some Americans too, but I could tell that they're British or Australian because they wear jorts, jean shorts, and American men just don't wear that. I mean, I expected to see that, and I knew people went there to find young wives and everything, but I just did not expect to see that much of it. And the prostitution was very blatant and just pretty much everywhere. You would see it outside spas, you would see it outside bars. So my coworker and I walked back from dinner one night, and I wouldn't have gone out without him because I just did not feel safe. He was walking back in front of this bar, which there's only 3 men inside the bar, which was a little bit suspicious, and it was a really dingy bar. And there was about 10 women lined up outside, very low cut tops, short skirts. Several of them had like implants just like out to here. And I was watching him, I was about 5 feet behind him, and I was watching him, and all the women tried to like turn their heads and tried to make eye contact with him as he walked by. But we ended up having to go to, it was like the differences between the poor and the rich in Thailand are very enormous. In fact, we accidentally ended up at a mall. We just Googled malls to go to because I had to get new luggage because my luggage handle broke off and everything. So I had to go get more luggage, and we ended up at a luxury mall. We went in and we're like, oh great, this is gonna be so expensive. I mean, you're talking Louis Vuitton, Chanel, which obviously I don't shop at. So I'm just editing and realized the clip cut off here. So yeah, for Thailand, I was really happy to get out on the weekend and just be able to do something. But if I went back again for work, I would try to take a few extra days or maybe even a week and just go out. There's so much to do. I mean, Chiang Mai has a lot. They actually do have elephant sanctuaries there. Lesson learned. And then Phuket has surfing in the winter. It's very touristy though, so but you can take a flight for like $100 or something, or some people said 50, but the airlines are kind of unreliable, it looked like. And maybe some good snorkeling too on the other side of Phuket, on the little strip of Thailand. You have the Andaman Sea in the Indian Ocean, and I guess it has really beautiful snorkeling, so I do that. So Vietnam, what were my thoughts on Vietnam? So I did 2 videos on Vietnam. One was to Halong Bay, the other one was like a food tour, and then I went and saw John McCain's statue that's at the lake where he was shot down at. So yeah, I did get to go out a little bit that weekend as well. Really wish I had been able to take more time off, but it was my first work trip overseas, so I was kind of really not used to everything, and I didn't really want to take extra time. I actually just filmed this video a year ago, and I actually just got back from Hong Kong a few days ago, and I did take 2 extra days there and went surfing and hiking and took the ferry to some random island and everything. So that was pretty cool. So I think if I go to Vietnam again, which I may very well, I will definitely take a few days, a week, go to Da Nang, I think it is. Go surfing, hopefully, if there's anything. And there's also the largest cave in the world is in Vietnam. It was recently discovered. They do have tours of it. Some are up to 3 days. I don't think I'd want to do that one. But yeah, my thoughts on Vietnam. I have to have a more censored version of what I think of Vietnam because I do need to go back and I do need to qualify for a visa and everything like that. So I'm not going to say anything criticizing, or at least not too much. As Americans, our perception of Vietnam really comes from the Vietnam War. And it's unfortunate that there's still a huge stigma. Vietnam is still a communist country. That is true. In my perception, though, it seemed like communism on decaf. A lot of the people seemed like they were able to do mostly what they wanted. However, they do have some restrictions, like the people will get arrested for criticizing the government on Facebook, for example. But anyway, so they don't really have that freedom, but it seems like it's veering more towards capitalism. But yeah, Vietnam was really beautiful. We stayed in the French Quarter in Hanoi, and the architecture with vines growing on, I mean, it was so beautiful. Coffee shops, you know, breweries, everything like this. It's a really beautiful country, and it's really underrated, really inexpensive. The Brits and the Aussies have really, I mean, they go there all the time. You just see all sorts of British and Australian tourists, and it's really common to take a motorbike from Ho Chi Minh City, which used to be called Saigon, and take it up to Hanoi. But not so many Americans. I mean, I kind of liked not being around other Americans while I was there, other than my coworker. I really liked Vietnam, and I really want to go back and just explore more. Those are my thoughts. I liked Vietnam more than Thailand. Vietnam seemed less polluted, although people who lived in Hanoi said it's usually polluted. I liked it a little bit better. There wasn't any blatant prostitution that I saw. I mean, I'm sure they have some, but there weren't a bunch of young girls with older men, and just far less tourists in Vietnam too. So, I mean, not to compare the two countries, I just compare them because those were the 2 countries I went to on the trip, and until that point, those were the only 2 countries I'd been to in Asia, other than Korea, which we had a layover in, but that doesn't really count. So anyway, I will be posting my Hong Kong videos soon, within the next month, hopefully. I'm going to the UK soon as well, so I'm sure I'll post those videos within the next year. No, hopefully soon. But anyway, thanks for watching.
Follow me for more travel content.